everyone. Thank you for joining us today. We are excited to share a webinar with you on rostering and onboarding for your students. I'm Nicole Neschheim, Product Marketing Manager for Hatch Early Learning, and I am joined by our presenters today, Rachel Emerson from the product team and Jennifer Tubb from the customer success team. Rachel came to Hatch after working for a few other educational technology companies. And prior to working in ed tech, she served as a cognitive and sensory motor specialist with children with special needs. Rachel's very passionate about building educational products that help provide equal opportunities for early learners. And Jen joined us at Hatch 2 years ago, fueled also by her passion for supporting early learners. Jen comes from a family with passionate educators and also has a background in early childhood education. Prior to turning the presentation over, I do want to let you all know that you can enter any questions you have throughout the presentation in the Q&A box, and we will read those out in the questions segment of the presentation. And now I'm going to let Jen get started.
All right, everyone, thank you for joining us this afternoon. So our focus today is on rostering or getting your account set up. So our first is, what is rostering? So many different avenues have different sort of terminology and different definition of what rostering is. For us, rostering is your general account setup. So when you're adding in your school's classroom, adding in users, which are teachers, other administrators, and family members, as well as adding in children. When you're in the system in Hatch Insights, you can do all these functions as an org admin, also a school administrator, or as a teacher, depending on your role is the amount of functionality that you have access to. So an org administrator has access to create and add all schools, classrooms, children, family members. A school administrator has the ability to add classrooms and children and teachers for the school that they're assigned to. And then obviously a teacher has the ability to add children and families to the classroom that has been created for her, or a class that they create for themselves.
All right, just find the mute button here. So we get into our rostering options in Insights. First off, we have our easy add, and that is simply you're adding one by one, you're adding your school actually in Insights. You can add your school, add your class, you can add your org admins. Now, org admins can be added by other org admins. So if you're finding you need some more help on the organizational level, having more permissions, you can add another org admin if you are an org admin. You can add school admins, teachers, and of course, children. And I will show kind of how you do this in a walkthrough shortly, but we'll go over our other option now. So we also have our rostering option with a CSV file. Now this is available for org admins to use currently, so only org admins. We are looking at opening that up for school admins and teachers. It's just not currently available for them. Basically what you're able to do with this is you are able to import your schools via CSV, your school administrators, your teachers, and your classes, and import children and parents. This is something you might want to do when you are adding multiple. You want to knock out a bunch all at once. And then I will actually show you what this looks like. All right, so I am going into Insights as an organizational admin. I'll log in here. All right, so talking about our one by one ad, we would go over to roster, and let's say I just want to add a new school. Simple as this. You're just adding your school name. You can fill out these optional fields, and of course your zip code on where your school is. So that's as simple as you get for adding a school. You can add a class. So you're saying, all right, what school is this class a part of? We'll go with Hogwarts because that's my favorite. You can name your class. You can assign a teacher to the class. can say, all right, how many children do we think are going to be in this class? And then just selecting the curriculum and then a fun little icon for your class. So that's adding a class. Adding users is where you're going to be adding your organizational admin, your teacher, and your school admin. So first it's asking, all right, what role does this person have? Which one am I adding? And then of course, giving that information, what school are they going to be attached to, first name, last name, and a valid email address. They will receive an email invite when you add them. And then adding a child. So that is our other one. We're going to add a new child. Just ask for some basic information here on the child. And then you can also add a parent at this time that is linked to that child. Of course, selecting what school does this child belong to and what class. So that's our easy add, just adding one by one as you build out your schools and your classes. Also looking at the roster CSV option, we go over to roster again, we go down to imports, and here's roster CSV. Again, this is only available currently for an organizational admin. We have it into 4 different imports. So you can import your schools in one. It does give you a template. So we do a CSV file and you'll see what fields it needs when you download the template. Each one of these is different. So you got add your schools, you can add your school administrators, your teachers and classes is in one import, and your children and parents are in an import. Now, once you build that out into a CSV, you would just choose that file and add it here. You'll be taken to an import history page. You can see the status of your import, and then of course, if there are any errors. So if you're missing a child's name, something like that, you will receive an error message for where you need to go make that correction. And that is very clear for you on how to do that. So that is our walkthrough on the CSV import, and we'll kick it back over to our presentation and take any questions at this point. Nicole, I will hand that over to you.
Okay, we do have one question, and they would like to know how many teaching staff are able to access a class.
So I guess want to clarify that question a little bit. It's how many teachers?
Yes.
That is one I'll have to circle back on because I think that can be different depending on the organizational settings. So that's one we can follow up on if that's okay.
Yeah, absolutely. All right. There are no other questions at this point. Oh, wait, one last question. When importing information from another database, Child Plus, do the classes have to have the same name?
Talking Child Plus, I want to say that is correct, that they would need to match up. But again, let's circle back on that since we haven't talked about Child Plus at this point.
All right. And then Tanita Clark, yes, this presentation is recorded and it will be available for you to watch at a later point in time. All right. Next slide.
Sure, let's go here. So our other option that we have is auto rostering. So auto rostering is where you can use Clever or ClassLink to link the data in your student information system to Ignite and Insights. Ignite and Insights will receive your data and will sync with it nightly. Now, about auto rostering, if this is something that people are interested in, they would need to connect with their customer success manager. You do have to review requirements on if you're able to do auto rostering. There are a couple of requirements around that. And then just a customer success manager would help you prepare your data. And then we do have a step-by-step setup guide in our support center for that. And then at that point, you can watch your data flow into Ignite and Insights.